Obviously, given that this is Doctor Who, this fun little trip doesn't all go to plan, with the shuttle bus breaking down in the middle of nowhere on this incredibly dangerous planet. This then gives us time to explore all of these side characters in this episode, with the Doctor shutting off the entertainment systems on board, forcing everyone to talk to each other and socialise. This helps give us a better sense of who these characters are, which is essential for a bottle episode like this, where all of the characters are trapped in one location for the majority of the story. We even get to meet the cabin crew of this shuttle bus, driver Joe and mechanic Claude, where we get one of the best scenes in this episode and the show as a whole, where Claude thinks he sees something moving in the distance, which is impossible given the toxic atmosphere of this planet, and as the shutter of the windscreen is closing, Claude thinks he sees movement again, with the thing he saw seemingly heading directly for the bus. This scene works so well because they don't really actually show us anything about the Midnight Entity itself, although you might be able to see a slight shadow moving if you look close enough, but just the thought of something being out there is terrifying enough on its own. Also, I think I've heard you don't actually see a shadow moving, it's like a reflection of someone's hand or something like that, but just the idea that something could be moving out there that you maybe could spot if you're looking close enough on its own is just terrifying. Obviously, this then leads to the Midnight Entity attacking the bus, first by knocking on the bus, hinting at what the Midnight Entity will be doing later on in this episode, with it mimicking the knocks of the people on the bus, and then by jostling the bus around and cutting out the power. When the lights and power come back on, we find out that Skye has been possessed by the Midnight Entity, and the cabin of the bus where the driver and the mechanic were has been ripped off, which leads to some great scenes where Skye is mimicking what everyone is saying, then she targets the Doctor and begins only mimicking what the Doctor is saying, and then she impossibly starts speaking at the exact same time as him, until the Midnight Entity eventually transfers over to the Doctor, which is demonstrated incredibly with her speaking before him. The idea of this entity mimicking the characters is such a simple idea, but it works so well in this episode, and it's just the kind of thing that Doctor Who does best.
Commander Score gathers his Sontaran troopers to battle Earth!